But it's going to be the tiny mid, which definitely raises my eyebrows to a certain peak of incredulousness.
I kind of like the Luna on Empire though, because it's going to be... By the time the Husker
auras
comes
and
in,
runs down lane,
yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, exactly. You can just, if you play it right, but the OD as well.
ooh, there is nothing which can lane up against its OD.
Yeah, they're going to be demolished by OD right now. Luna, when it gets later into the game, when you have potentially like Manta, BKB and stuff, you might be somewhat surviving, but every other hero is going to be absolutely demolished by this ult.
Wow, this is, yeah, this feels like a really, really good OD game. So it's going to be the carry Husker and the mid OD as Supreme picks that up. Okay then, let's see what they can do. Empire with the auras, with the push, and Hippomaniacs with some neat counter picks, and also they're kind of stable at this stage. Dazzle Axe combo, which they pick up almost every time. Who are you putting your money on, Tea Time? Oh no, oh god. TeaGuvnor.
I am the only reputable person with the name T, and I know that someone.
Well, that's true.
Wasn't there some guy who got like on Reddit? It was like his name was like T something, and he was doing some weird Dota stuff.
Tea Time. He flamed Admiral Bulldog and got buried.
Oh, is that the guy you're on about? Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Tea Time. Okay, yeah, I'm not Tea Time. Christ Almighty. Woo! Right, as. My name is
All right, I'm going to have to interrupt you because we do have the odds coming up on the screen. If we'd have done that segue perfectly, we would have been exactly on time for this. But unfortunately, I messed up. Then we had a nice little a flaming period, flaming the Nomad. But yeah, we had some odds on screen. If you think you know who's going to win, if you like them odds, then you can head over to the es.bet website where you can go and place yourself a bet. And there is an insurance going on for this tournament on the Madness, giving you an insurance on your bets. The details are all in the description, so go and check that out if you are so inclined and want to put your money where your mouth is as we move into this best of one game. All games best of one in these group stages. And TeaGuvnor, are you ready for the dub?
Sure, man.
Oh, apparently we're having an ESBet advert. Okay. Well, this is in Russian, but can you translate?
Yeah. So Dota 2, King Gaming, they're winning. You got Visa, Kiwi, something else. You put 350 schmeckles in. You put them in the thing. You scroll up the phone. You put 330. Put some more schmeckles. You press the button. You get some money back. You put your password in. Some authentication. Press another button. Yeah, it's good, man. Website looks pretty clean. Just bet it.
Perfect. Oh, you're starting.
Yeah, so I think Empire's going to win this game because I just like auras. I think Hippomaniacs, they're a creative team, evidently, but they've just gone a bit wayward here. They've got like nice counters, but if they can bring it together and be cohesive, then maybe it'll work. But from their previous performance, they're not as cohesive as the other teams. And I'm still talking somehow. How am I still talking? I have no idea how I'm still talking here. How is this still my segment? Can the other guy now say some stuff? There we go.
Okay, yeah, I can say stuff. TeaGuvnor, I know we're under this blanket together, but please stop touching my legs. It's very inappropriate. We're in a workplace environment, the two of us sitting together on this sofa, and I know that you really like legs, but anyway, let's get into the game.
Yours are so like fine though. It's like you like shave just like one strip, so I can get like the soft feeling, and then the head. Oh, it's great.
Anyway. A little bit of a pause coming out as we have a scenic shot off the Radiant side of the map. Look at this, a winter wonderland, nonetheless. There's even a little bird on a log, frozen still by the ether of time, which we are currently in. These lucky heroes get to go out and experience this map firsthand. The wonders of the woods, which really don't look that good from this angle, to be honest. The woods look pretty. No, they're pretty nice. This is a super nice terrain, though. And I like the way the players are helping us out with these sound effects as well, just to give it that extra twinkle of magic.
Oh, of course. I need to hear like the groovy laughter and stuff now.
Nah, they're just celebrating. They've got the champagne out. They've got the chimes. Yeah, the Greeble laughter is really good, and it's different every time, which is exciting.
They got the champagne out for potentially coming last in Group A of Winter Madness. Woo! We come last, boys!
Get the champagne out. We don't have to play anymore, so we get to go celebrate New Year's.
New Year's!
But the bird's frozen in the sky is kind of off-putting as well.
Yeah, a little bit. No, I like this shot right now where it's just kind of going through the lane, just showing the different part. Yeah, that's nice.
I mean, how many hours do we put into Dota yet? We never get to experience what the heroes are experiencing. It's kind of don't know, you're just giving you a bit of perspective. You know, we're all up here in our high castle. Lovely stuff.
Now it feels like it's turning into another game. I won't mention the game because it's just nowhere near as good as Dota, but cool. If our perspective was this, Dota would have been dead years ago. Just like the other game that I haven't mentioned.
Oh, I think third-person MMO. Oh,
yeah, it is.
We've got some Russian sledging with some kind of
universe
it's
Santa
sky.
Again.
Oh god, it's Santa and the monkey. Looks like they're having a nice time this time, though. Keeping it safe for work, which is lovely. What's going on with the sky, by the way? Is this what it looks like in Russia?
Yeah, I think so. Like, you know, global warming's a big thing, and
that's just a massive hole in the ozone.
If anything, actually, that is some beautiful sky. If you see that many stars whilst in the city, I take it back. Global warming is not a thing. This is beautiful.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, that's great.
Just sledging away. The kids around them. This is what Christmas is all about.
Oh, thank God! No more. Yes, we're in the game. Woo!
Sweet. In case anybody was wondering, we are taking the stream from the Russian side of things. They're just pelting each other with snowballs. A little snowball fight here. Dead cute. We are taking the stream from the Russian stream and basically just casting over it. So we have no communication about delays or production or anything like that. We're just doing it. We're just doing our own thing here. It's pretty fun. Hope you're enjoying the ride. Tiny with his big old log. Trying to see if he throws another snowball.
Oh yeah, you can throw snowball and throw a tree. Now that is some double throwing.
That's taking it too far. If I was in a snowball fight and someone lobbed a tree at me, I'd be like, come on.
No, you always get that one little kid that puts a stone in his snowball just to be edgy. He knocks your eyebrow out or something, yeah. Oh god, those kids.
Now, I remember...
Yeah, more important... Oh, sorry, yeah. What are you going to say there,
I was just going to give a little anecdote. When I used to be a ski instructor, we always used to play kind of like throw snowballs. If any kid was like getting bored or being like a little bit of a poop, then we'd always snowball fight. You know, that always brings the best out of kids. You know, they're just like, oh yay, snowballs. All of a sudden, everything is great. And there was this one like really, really little kid. So I was like getting down really low, like crouching down to make sure that he could hit me with a snowball. And then he just kind of turns around, like full on pelts me in the eye with like this tiny piece of ice. Like I've never felt a kid throw so hard in my life, and I was like, oh no, like it was like one of my first days, and it was all in the air. All the other ski instructors was. My eye was watering like crazy because I just taken like a piece of ice to it, and they were like, did you just get like snowballed in the face by a little kid now crying about? I'm like, no.
Just really emotional. I just love snow.
Yeah. Skiing, it's ski instructing, such the dream. Promo code on the screen. Put that in the WePlay website, and you can win an Arcana or something. Don't really know how that works, but it's pretty cool if you want to grab yourself an Arcana. So
it's important to note the Tiny is sitting mid right now, going for the courier snipe. Now he's TPing out, realizing that the courier is not going to be there. Don't want to waste too much time. Oh, they put the Venge mid. Okay.
I think this is one of the few heroes which isn't going to get completely ruined by this OD, but it's still not going to be pretty. I mean, as we said, there's no hero which can really lane against this guy effectively, to be honest. So they're just cutting their losses. Meanwhile, top lane.
In the current game, let's make sure there's a disclaimer there.
I mean, yeah, there's always people can always be rotated upon.
So I think it's more important to note the safe lane Husker and then put in the mid OD. The Husker will then be able to naturally get more items and have more presence in the lane. And then I think the only issue I find with Hippomaniacs draft right now is the Husker wants to be collecting his armlet and running at you, and the OD wants to have his triple null Yashikaya, then want to start fighting. So there might be a disparity when the two heroes want to be playing together. So if Empire can punish that at some point, then Hippomaniacs draft might slowly start falling apart during the mid game.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen yesterday Hippomaniacs, I think they started the game ahead, didn't they? And they kind of couldn't hold on. They had that axe again, and the axe just ended up dying a little bit too much, and ended up slipping out of their grasp.
Yeah, he was 200 gold away from Blink, and he died like two times in a row, and obviously prevented his Blink dagger, and then that just meant the Slark wasn't able to do anything. So hopefully this game they're a little bit more cohesive in them.
A lot of heroes getting low around the map as Aluna just kept on getting Coddle Blasts in the top lane, and Muff might go, no, not going under tower for it. Meanwhile, Curry goes down the bottom lane. Dream is going to make it through the trees and survive this one, although the Coddle Blast being charged up once again. Dream does avoid it though, of course, Muff under tower, so Pretty easy for the Loon to walk out of the way of that one and turns around with a bit of harass. Doesn't need to final last hit to get rid of that battle hunger, but will be successful. Feels good. But yeah, are we gonna be able to see the replay of that first blood? Who knows?
I would like to think so.
You'd expect
we
so.
will see. Well, yeah, we could just theory craft what happened and just say they dove tower and killed him with a Beastmaster. Pretty cool.
Yeah, he was already pretty low from the harass, and he did eventually drop. So, yeah, this middle lane still looking fairly convincing for the Outworld Devourer. What did it used to be called? Was it Outworld Destroyer?
I have no idea. I haven't played Dota that long.
Oh, really?
I don't know previous names.
How long have you played Dota for?
Like 4.5 years, maybe 5 years, if that.
Yeah, they changed it about that time ago, I think.
Let me rephrase that. I've only really paid attention to Dota for like the last 2 years. The 3 years before that was just me clicking buttons when I was like 1k going, haha! Since then, ascensions have occurred.
So you were techies?
No, I was a Drell Ranger that rushed Daedalus, and then screamed down Mike that I got Daedalus, thinking it was like the item in the world, and we could win everything, but...
Enlightened.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how obnoxious Boar is, by the way?
Yeah, it's really strong, especially when you get the double Boar as well. Just, the fact it does a lot more damage now as well. The slow is pretty ridiculous. Overall, it's like, it's in the, like when you play against Beastmaster, you need to decide, do I kill the spawn now and get rid of it, or do I just accept it's there and I have no care about it being there? So
yeah. Also, the cancel on salves and
see what they're doing here? Just get rid of the ball.
Well, yeah, but they could be in trouble. Saberlight though going under tower for this one will actually drop though very quickly there, going a bit too aggressive. Meanwhile, Curry being chased down under the tower, has to be careful. But in comes a nuke from Miposhka to finish off Curry. Getting pretty low on BZZ as they're trying to jump in, but the nice little purge there from the Oracle going to keep him alive as Miposhka making the plays and keeping this lane in their favor.
Oh, and more kills. The fear for Hippomaniacs right now is you pick Huskar because in your mind it's like, this guy will win his lane and he will do something, and he will be the presence in the first like 20 minutes. And if he's the one dying in his lane, and it's the OD that's having a good game, it's like, who's your frontliner for the OD? It's, yes, you have the axe, but like, where's your big follow-up? Where's your like your brick wall to prevent your OD from being jumped by like the Beastmaster Tiny?
It's pretty scary stuff, and you know, we expected this OD to have a good lane, but considering the axe just died at top and then Muff went down as well on the coddle, no, it's pretty painful.
Yeah, it's looking, again, it's only 5 minutes in. We can't be too skeptical here, but oh, the toss on the tower, that was very nice. Again,
this might have been what happened before, actually, as Saberlight getting chased down by Dream and Sayu, and the Avalanche just stopping him, slowing him down. One more right click will be needed. They've got the Lucent Beam, and the right click from Tiny Connect. Saberlight is dead.
Yeah, nice little kill there.
Gotta be careful. Tiny threat is really becoming an issue for Hippomaniacs. He keeps getting these tosses under the tower. I'm assuming that's what happened to the eggs before anyway. I can't imagine he just ran under the tower by his own accord. You never know, though.
No, yeah, I really like actually putting the Venge middle. It's like, I believe the Venge will still want to go for the Vlads, like the normal item build of like the offlane Venge or whatever, or the carry Venge. And it just means that when the Luna gets, like the Luna only needs to have like a couple Wraith Bands and like basic items, and then you can start applying pressure. And if you apply the pressure before the Husker comes online, pretty good.
Out, and that is going to be a very dead Dazzle as Miposhka tears apart Senny. With help of BZZ, of course, as they look towards Curry as well. Throwing in some right clicks, a couple of right clicks here and there, setting that Beastmaster Dyson on fire, trying to take control of this lane. That's quite self-report as well, but yeah, that Berserker's Blood gonna heal him up, make him very difficult to really get the harass down. It's impossible to kill a Huskar with harass anymore. You know, you have to commit to get that kill. Right clicks just never really do the job these days.
Right, yeah, he's sitting on 11 regen now. Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's about half HP as well. When it gets down lower, it gets like triple.
Exponentially, yeah.
Exponentially, exactly. Nice call out onto the Venge here, but unfortunately the creeps did die with like one counter elixir. Saberlight maybe dying again here as he goes for the creep cut. Does not pay off. Meanwhile, OD TPing down to the bottom lane. Going to go for the kill here. Does actually manage to find BZZ. Is he going to go for more though? Seems to be backing out from this one as it stands. Now salving up. They want to go for the kill here. Oh, whoopsie doodle. They don't combo their spells perfectly there, but it doesn't matter. They're going to get the kill all the same. Well, it might have been planned anyways. Like, I don't think it really matters if the Huskar just wanted to lose his HP. Meanwhile, Zenny's actually just being bullied by this Venge Illusion, which may well kill him. Yep, down he goes.
And also Miposhka going down to the OD as well.
But BCC is farming on the tower, and that was way more entertaining, I would say.
Of course. I think also it's really important to note here, the OD going in with that ult took all those heroes to half HP and / killing one with only 3 nulls. When he gets his next item, so he'll probably go for either Tranquils or Treads, and then the Yashikaya, he's going to be like blowing up these heroes. Like, there's no hero on the Empire right now that can just naturally survive, and also we've now got...
Oh, this guy, who is telling us all about ES.bet and their odds for this game. So yeah, if you want to place a bet with the side shop guy, head over to ES.bet, I guess.
Sure. And hopefully Saberlight now dies as well after this. Oh, sorry, not hopefully, my bad.
Jesus, what you got against the guy? He's just a little lax with a dream. Gets the taunt off onto the heroes, but it doesn't really matter. Armor's not going to help you through that. Meanwhile, Curry dies in the bottom lane as well, so Hippomaniacs hemorrhaging kills right now. The last hope of their draft is basically in this Outworld Devourer. It's a pretty good hope to have.
Really big hero. We can't forget that. Again, Empire's got this big push, but if the OD can like find his place to get the pickoffs and keep getting his farm and getting the items, if they take the correct fights with the ult, it could be very good. Oh, and there's Curry dying. Yep,
so best surrounded by 3 heroes here as they make the rotation in on that Vengeful Spirit, and he just takes care of business. One thing to mention though is that they do have the swap and raw combination to use, so if it is a one hero, oh my god, Zenny getting annihilated. Supreme's Invis here looking for something, but what will he find? Going for that Kaya and Yasha actually. Let's look towards Miposhka here, but they've got the sentry down. They know that this OD is about, and I think he realizes that there's something not quite right in the air. So he will back himself back to the mid lane. Yeah. He's
forgot to mention, the OD ult is obviously the big thing for Hippomaniacs right now. But the cooldown is like 150, 160 seconds, right? So Empire can just do this thing where they run in, take a fight, don't care about the outcome, reset, come back in, and then they just win the fight naturally, right? So it's really important the OD doesn't just waste his ult.
Being chased down on the tower by 3 heroes right now as the Avalanche Kins in the toss as well, and Supreme is taken care of. Curry 2 TPs in with the nice little inner fire there onto 3. They do manage to catch just 2 on the edge of that Ignis, but it's really doing nothing. Just a lonely little disco ball. Well, a little bit of a misplay there from Hippomaniacs. I feel as they're looking towards Say going for the TP out. Do they have the cancel? They do not. They need to get the kill, but they will not be able to do it before he TPs away.
Yeah, TPs are going to be Empire's biggest friends right now. Like, Hippomaniacs can imprison, Cool, or Ignis, and other than that, they out of their boys.
Yep.
And there's a Yashikaya coming from Supreme. He's got the Tranquils as well, very standard for OD.
On the top lane, Saberlight farming away. Now has this Vanguard going for the phase boots next, it looks like. Not really any other options for him, to be honest. Can't really go for that early blink this game. He's going to need that extra bit of tankiness against all the attack damage and attack speed coming out from Empire. Otherwise, he's just going to blink in and die.
Yeah, I'd like to see him actually get a Crimson Guard just to try and negate the potential push that comes out from Empire at some point.
Yeah, I did mention that earlier.
Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later, because if he goes for phase, then blink, then Crimson, it's going to be around about 20-22 minutes when he's going to get the Crimson, and that might be a bit late.
Well, Curry just doing his best to farm up in this bottom lane, but currently sitting on 5th in the net worth charts, which is not where you want to be as a Huskar. Feeling very far behind. Does have the armlet queued up, but it's going to be a while before he gets there. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, there is a push coming out from Team Empire as they're getting busy on this tier 1. You can see leading the charge with Dream on the Luna, helping them out as well. These auras stacking up now to one each other. I mean, just look at these
running
buffs.
Straight into Roshan now.
But yeah, they can take this very quickly with these.
Really good play from Empire. Look, the vision they just put down, they got one ward into the Ancients and one in mid lane. Like, if Hippomaniacs try and contest this, they should be able to find the pickoffs. And the Hawk down as well, sorry. Not the ward.
Yep, and then all the sight they could ever want. And,
really good hawk placement, really good. Look, see how it's inside the trees slightly? It means that the sentry doesn't catch the hawk. Unless you do the blast and you see the hawk.
We'll now see it, and it's too late though. The Roshan's going to die, and Dream will pick up the Aegis of Immortality. And yeah, this is going to be Team Empire looking very, very strong coming through on the 12 minutes. These auras just stacking up with one another. The OD still needs a little bit of time to be effective. What's he actually building on the OD?
The OD, he is building Yasha Kaya right now, and he's got Tranquil's triple null, and he's currently got the Kaya, and he's now moving into the Yasha component of that item.
Alrighty, well, still, I don't know, how do you feel about this? They've actually managed to catch out Miposhka here, who is certainly going to go down quite quickly. Only 193 gold for that kill though, so considering there are 4 heroes around there, I'm not sure he's going to be completely broken up about dropping there. But yeah, do you think that's the right item choice for the OD? Because this, I mean, it's just basically a stats pedal item, like trying to make your OD as strong as possible. Doesn't give you mobility, doesn't give you lockdown. You know, sometimes we see the side of Vice Rush, sometimes we see the 4-staff instead. What do you think about Kaya and Yasha?
I think it's one of OD's kind of go-to items currently, simply for the mid-game explosive plays that he can make, where if he does steal a couple in from, obviously, opponents, then he can just blow them up. So I think it could be an answer to what Empire are trying to do, where they just want to group up early and take the objectives. But it's all good and all having that on OD. It's just when you blow your ult, you need to rely on your team to be there as well.
Roar actually used onto the Dazzle here, and they will find that kill. Okay, that's seemed like overcommitment just for a support there, but I guess Empire not really looking to push right now. Maybe. Also, I feel like they do want to push with the Aegis though.
Yeah. Also, the way that Seni just walked there, it showed off he had a ward there, and Miposhka instantly dewarded. And when Miposhka just died previously, also showed that he placed a ward, because obviously, why else is he there? So both of these wards the +5s just placed have been dewarded just because they were in the area for too long after placing their initial ward.
Yeah, it happens. That's just the support life though, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got to sacrifice your life for some vision.
You need to be very select when you place your vision, either with your team in a smoke, or if you've already got like sentries placed out in a path, follow that path and then get your wards up from there.
Yeah.
And instantly TPing out to try and just not be seen. So there's small things to be done, but again, it's if you're ahead, you're a little bit cocky, right? You're like, yeah, I don't care, I'm gonna walk there. If I die, whatever. There's 3 heroes killing me, so.
Yeah. Well, we now have the armlet picked up on the Huskar. Is this going to be go time from the Hippomaniacs? As they also have the Kaya and Yasha taken by their OD. Tiny finds himself a blink at the same time, though, so maybe both teams looking for an engagement soon. As
yes,
it does look like
really
Empire.
crucial.
This is going to be a big fight as the Tiny TPs into this middle lane. Looking to go for something here as Dream and G take to the front lines. Venge and the Luna.
They need to somehow either wait for the Aegis without losing too many objectives, or kill the rest of the team and let Luna just be there, and then kill him twice, obviously by himself.
Yeah, it's a really big ask, because there's still about 2.5 minutes left on this Aegis.
And I believe what's going to happen is they're just going to simply split the map up, and then once the Aegis is down, they'll probably group up, smoke, and then try and take the fight.
Dayu positioned so aggressively here, just looking to toss anybody who comes to defend this into the Luna. Does lose a lot of health for it, but they take middle and bottom tower for this push as BZZ just sitting on the bottom lane as we said he would. The Beastmaster leading in his army of necro units, of wars. It's a whole menagerie down here in the bottom lane, and Empire want to take full advantage of this. They want to use this Aegis, and they want to use it now. Blinding Light used. I mean, they do have the Blinding Light and the inner fire as Sayu jumps in, going for the toss back, does manage to get Muff, but Muff just forces himself away, but in comes the Eclipse. Can he bring down the Coddle? No, he cannot, and Dream on the front lines is going to go down. A beautiful Will, going to catch out 3, and now comes down the Santi's Clips on top of it as well. Can they take down the Venge? Yes, they can. Down goes Venge. BZZ on the front line, staying alive, but no, Sableye comes in with the dunk. Dream now gets called up inside the base as well, but in comes Sayu with the Avatos. It's going to take down Supreme and Curry as well. Sableye now finds himself without 2 cores. Can he actually find anything more from this? As Supreme does buy back, they need to find a kill for this buyback, but I'm not sure they're gonna. Sableye 4-star forwards, Blink as well, trying to find something. But I'm not sure he will. Hiding in the trees, Zayu. No, they don't actually get in. Maybe Miposhka will be the sacrifice here, but they're not too bothered about that one. Going for the TP out, will get banished out, and looks like the other hero, yep, will be able to TP out on the other hero, which was their Zayu. Getting himself away, so Miposhka does die. Supreme, I mean, buying back for a kill on a 5, though, doesn't feel ideal. Maybe a little bit too quick off the mark from that OD. Yeah,
it's an unfortunate buyback from the OD. It really didn't, like, amount to anything, so... Right now, this window here is like Empire just reset. They can either wait for next Roshan just to be ultra safe, or they can just slowly farm up the map, and now we have an owl.
Oh, cute. The owl of betting. Are you as wise as this owl? If you think you are, then place a bet on ES.bet.
Alright, anyway, yeah, so now, like I was trying to say, this window right here is the most important part. Empire want to sit back, reset for a second, kind of collect themselves. And then Hippomaniacs should be able to punish this, and yeah, now they're doing it. Cool, let's go, Hippomaniacs. Let's go! Woo!
Yep. Pushing forwards under the cover of smoke. They're going to find anybody here, though? Are there any heroes about? Well, they are certainly not. They do now see them, though. And they're heading over. Yeah, Scan's going to see everything. Tell them all they need to know. But actually, Hippomaniacs, they've given up on this one, thankfully. Oh, no, they
really don't like that illusion.
Yeah, no, they're just clearing out that illusion, for sure. They didn't think that was a hero.
They're getting bot lane pushing in from Dire, so the Radiant are going to have to get back and defend that with someone. Potentially, Dire could position themselves to kill whoever farm. Yeah, okay, yeah. They're doing that. Whoever comes and defends this might just instantly blow up. There's no ward there. They're going to see the Cuddle blasting, so potentially swapping him into some spells. Yep,
swapped in. He tries to force-staff himself away. There are actually TPs coming back to base. Muff actually with the Glimmer Cape going to keep himself easily alive here. And that is probably going to force Team Empire back. They don't have the Aegis to play with anymore. You know, they have to be careful. Swap also used, but of course that spell has 2 charges now. So.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Still hanging around in this bottom lane though, wanting to put the pressure on Hippomaniacs, keep them inside the base.
Yes, the way that you want to play, because the Huskar isn't like an innate farmer. So if you're stuck in your base and you're only farming like the odd crit wave, he's not going to scale at all. And then the likes of Luna, Beast, Tiny, they're all going to be big farmers. Taking the shrine, just making sure it's really disciplined Dota now. Again, they're just going to get all the bounty runes 20 minutes. They're going to wait for the Roshan and then go again.
Yeah, it's not what we've seen a lot of teams doing so far. Most teams have been trying to kind of push the tempo, keep the pressure up, keep getting objectives throughout the entire game. But Empire, they're feeling to take this. They're feeling the need to take this a little bit more cautiously. Wait for Roshan, just use those auras to take it quickly, and then try and finish out the game after that. But I'm sure if they get a big catch, they won't hesitate to make use of it. But they're going on to Dream here. They get the banishment off. More heroes coming in, but there's only 3 of them here for the Luna. The call comes out. The Manta dodge. No, it's not there. Dream held still, but the swap comes out. Is it enough? Though the Will is going to hold him still. Saberlight comes in for the big dunk, and now they'll look towards G as well. Came in to help out his carry, but maybe paying the ultimate price as they chase them down through the trees. The banishment is there, and this Venge is dead. Cool, guys. Don't look at explosions. Supreme gets on top of it instead. And they'll kill
but they're not cool, because all of them stood there and looked at that explosion.
Yeah. I thought they were just going to run off and leave Revenge for dead and just not let the illusion do anything, but instead they wanted the illusion money.
For some reason, OD Imprison is like the one spell that every single person, when they cast it, even if the person who cast it was 1 HP, everyone innately just stands there and goes, okay, he might not die, even though you know he does.
Oh,
and that's Curry dead as well.
Never safe.
It's like the last game Hippomaniacs played. They have one hero that's doing really well in the game, and then the other core is just like non-existent. So it's pretty upsetting.
This mid lane is going to take a bit of a beating. I'm wondering if they're going to actually. Well, yeah, they've brought the OD back, and Axe just going to blink out, go for the TP. But Poshka is none the wiser to where the Axe is. They will not be able to have a go at interrupting or anything. Don't really have any items of mobility anyway.
The Axe has the Crimson Guard as well. That's really crucial as well. These pushes coming up, if there's not an Aegis on the side of Dire, then it could be pretty even. Again, it's all about the OD getting his ult off, but also getting the fight clean and getting the lanes pushed out at a point where Dire can't just instantly run at you again and reset. Like, there needs to be a great fight and push. And smoking up as well. This could potentially be a good play.
Yep, they're looking forwards here.
They have no vision though. That's the crucial part. Neither team has vision in the area.
They both have gems. Any vision placed down will be spotted out immediately. Miposhka going to break this high ground. They come in, they're going for the call, they're going on to Dream. Meanwhile, the Santi's Eclipse just dropped onto the two supports immediately. Sorry, the carrying support. Meanwhile, Luna will be able to get the Eclipse off, and the dunk doesn't come through from Saberlight. They do have the save available. Meanwhile, Miposhka will die to Supreme. He's trying to cause havoc on the backline. Now turn towards BZZ as well. Get him in the trees. They take him out. Will-O-Wisp used just to get rid of all of those trees. They will not find anybody else, or will they blink away? Nicely done from Sayu to keep himself out of danger. 2 heroes dead on the side of Team Empire, though. That was a pretty bad fight from them. What do you think about dropping the Santi's Eclipse straight away on those two?
It was just trying to disconnect the fight, because if the Oracle got over to the Luna, then obviously, then it could be pretty bad for them. But I think in the OD's eyes, he thought he was able to just blow them both up straight away with the ult, rather than like getting them both to low HP. So a bad bit of math there, and like a couple more right clicks on either of the heroes there, he would have just blown them up straight away. So I think it was fine to drop the ult there, for sure.
TeaGuv, are we going to have a turnaround? Oh, they have actually jumped on somebody here, but we'll lazily drift the camera over to watch this kill as they go from the
there goes Miposhka.
Yep, get a quick dunker, and actually Supreme's ready. He's actually got the banish off onto the Venge. Venge, she tries to go for the swap. Not enough to keep her alive, though, as a second dunk comes down. Saberlight takes a double kill as Hippomaniacs destroying through this middle lane.
Really good now. So they took all these fights before Roshan was spawning, and it's like, okay, so we take the fight, and now we're able to take Roshan, which now means that Empire don't have their kind of win condition, which is wait for Roshan, then go high ground. Now it's Hippomaniacs that have the momentum with the Aegis, and they can be a lot more aggressive.
Meanwhile, Supreme, it's actually roared up by BCZ here, and these animals are actually going to do a fairly good job at killing him if nobody comes in to help. They're going to leave Curry to solo Roche, but in comes Sayu as well. He's going to go for the steal. He's not Curry, gets the Aegis, and didn't actually die at all, as Sayu fails to get the steal and will just TP himself away.
Perfectly fine, good for Hippomaniacs. Getting the habit on the Husker as well means you can actually start man-fighting some of these heroes.
Yep, very nice item versus the Vengeful Spirit and the Luna. Especially that Luna just jumping on top of her. Also gives them a... well, they don't really need a Lincoln spot for this game, actually, but I always like to see a...
Call on to Miposhka.
Yep, they've got the Oracle locked down. Are they going to get the kill?
I can hear it.
Who knows? Yeah. It's now an auditory experience. This is what it's like to be deaf. Sorry, blind. Miposhka, though, being chased down, will drop to the damage there from Saberlight. Meanwhile, there's somebody in the trees there, but they're all gone. They TP'd out.
There is a fine line between supports getting vision out and drawing heroes into certain parts of the map, and then just feeding. And right now, I'm gonna be a bit negative and say that he's not forcing TPs, right? He's just walking into where they are and then dying. So yes, it was the bounty rune, and again, is the Oracle maybe dying for a bounty rune could be good. It probably is, but I don't know if he got it.
Well, Hippomaniacs may be close to making a turnaround, which is something we've not been particularly used to seeing in this tournament so far.
No, not at all. It's a stronger showing from Hippomaniacs. It's not the cleanest of games, but it's a stronger showing.
Dream goes in to go for the racks, but let's get chased out. Now the roar comes out onto Muff. They've got the coddle, but in comes the Escort. Oh my god, the damage coming out. They pop the BKB on Dream and just wreck the two heroes here defending. They do have the buyback available on the OD, and it will be popped. Now Empire want to get themselves away, completely underestimating the Luna's damage in that situation, and that costs 2 of them their lives, but now they jump forwards. Astral Imprisonment out onto the Tiny. They've got Sayu held down. It's a good hero to catch because he's one of the few heroes which can actually counter-initiate for the side of Empire. Now that roar is gone and they do catch him and bring him down, so at least they get something. But again, buyback used from the Outlaw Devourer. It was necessary this time, I would say, but still, doesn't feel great.
Yeah, we kind of cursed that one. We just said they're playing a little bit better, and then they have to double buyback. Yeah, pretty awkward. Again, it's one of those, the way that the OD builds, so he's got Blink, Force, and when he imprisons the Coddle, like, OD's natural play is if I'm getting jumped, I imprison, then I get my free blink dagger to get out. And it's once you use that defense mechanism, like the Cuttle can't then save you, right? Because you've imprisoned him for 4 seconds, and he can't then drop Ignis for you, so you will be dead if they have the stuns, and they did. So
they had the stuns, and you are duns. Well, Hippomaniacs led by Saberlight, taking that front line on the X. Can maybe push in something here. Empire being cautious. Do not want to get caught out by this blink call. 15-19 currently on the score. A 3k advantage for Team Empire. They take control of this game, but don't forget they have that tower taken in the bottom lane, and that means both of these what are those little guys called? The shrines. Both of the shrines do belong to Empire. So Hippo playing shrineless, and that means a lot of map does belong to Empire, unfortunately. So this lead is only going to extend itself unless Hippomaniacs can make some more aggressive plays.
The vision doesn't reflect the amount of objectives Empire have taken. All of their vision right now is covering the top shrine location, the trees left of the shrine, also in mid lane. It's like you haven't got this kind of throttled vision where you're like looking at every single entry or exit of the base of Radiant. Like normally when, obviously they're not ahead right now, they're a little bit behind or catching up, sorry, but normally when you're this certain lineup, you just want to have vision everywhere.
Call out onto the Luna here. Onto G here. Luna popping that BKB, running forwards, turns around, wants to kill the Ignis as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, in the middle of the fight, the BKB doing so much work, they just can't bring down the Luna. Zenny and Muff just get torn apart. Now they're looking for Supreme as well. Supreme pops that cheese, trying to get away from the double damage Luna. Meanwhile, Curry isolated from his team. Saberlight is going to fall to the Lucent Beam. Down goes Curry once. Meanwhile, they actually toss in. Who is that? It's the Dazzle in the middle of it all. Curry, well, does use the inner fire to keep himself alive a little bit longer. Very awkward fight, though, indeed, from Hippomaniacs. They find Sayu, kind of isolated here, tosses back Supreme. They're trying to look for the Tiny here. They'll use that call, keep him still as Curry doing so much damage and now getting graved up as well. So they do get the axe, but still, once again, buybacks used. Saberlight having to buy back into that fight. Same with the Dazzle as well.
No, yeah, it's I thought that really demonstrated how if the OD can't like right-click anyone on Empire and like accrue the int to be able to get the ult off, it really shows how weak Hippomaniacs are. The Tiny coming in, stunning, tossing people around. They're obviously starting with the Roar, the Save of Oracle, the swaps. It's like it's really hard for Hippomaniacs to actually fight into Empire when Empire dictate the start of the fight.
Yeah, the initiation from them is very scary. I mean, any team with a Beastmaster in it, you know, that ability to just call get the Roar off on somebody and hold them still is obviously very, very strong. Goes through BKB as well. Not that anybody has one anyways. This is COD's next stop. Being on the bottom lane, they just go straight in and kill Muff again. I imagine that was a Roar used. Yep, there's on cooldown. And now look at the bottom racks for it. They just jump in so quickly. And, I mean, Hippomaniacs just weren't ready for this. They just come in through the bottom lane and take the rack so damn fast.
Yeah, it's just Beastmaster plus anything.
OD has the Yasha and Kaya, Hurricane Pike, Blink Dagger, and the BKB queued up now as well, so... Alright, doing his best to farm up, going for that AC. I don't know, man. Hippomaniacs... They're falling behind now. A 9k gold advantage from Team Empire. It's just gaining and gaining by the second. Hippomaniacs, they need a little bit more than what they've got to turn this one around, especially considering the fact that they don't really have the comeback potential in these heroes, I would say.
Smokes will be their best friend in this game right now. Just being able to get the jump.
And the swap is in onto Curry at T, who's getting jumped upon and immediately blown up so quickly. Does get the inner fire, but dead all the same. Curry just gets his soup stirred, and now they're looking to go onto Zenny as well. He's got the swap off, but Oh, sorry, it doesn't matter. He's thrown about all over the place and blown up. Roar out onto Saberlight as Dream comes in, trying to blow up the Axe Blade Mail, just not doing a damn thing. Supreme trying to get himself away as Curry jumps in. Dream could be in trouble. There comes the Ignis Fastest as Supreme trying to fight it up, and there comes the Tati's Eclipse. They will handle Dream, and now they look for more as well. Hippomaniacs, they've taken down the core of the Empire lineup. Can they get anybody else for this as well, as Dream does overextend? Curry giving chase. Can he find Miposhka? Miposhka on the 5 position, trying to get up to the high ground. Supreme is chasing there. Has a Hurricane Pike, should he want to use it, but does want to be careful.
He's scared to go into the high ground without any vision. The fear that being tiny there, or someone who can just blow him up with the Venge.
Yep. Yeah, and the Tiny was there, but the Venge was not. So I think it would have been safe, but all the same, you know, that's the curse of having no vision.
Yeah, the Sanities right there was just proof of what the OD could do in these fights if Hippomaniacs were able to actually dictate them. But the fact that the last like 2 or 3 fights has been like, okay, one hero's jumped, we've lost the Huskar, we've lost the Kotal. Okay, now we have to retreat whilst also trying to take the fight where we can, because obviously you can't just run away and all just die. You have to try and do something. So hopefully soon, if the OD can get a little, like maybe the BKBs are so bad this game simply due to the roar and just the general like the swaps and the spells that Empire have. But I think he just needs to get a defensive item so he can actually get some damage out. And maybe it is the BKB just so he can't get the basic stuns like the Venge stun, the toss.
I mean, don't forget the guy got 2k straight HP versus the Lunar ulti.
Yeah.
It's not going to be surviving against that.
Yeah, I believe he does have a BKB now on OD, so that's good. The next fight should allow him to actually get some right clicks off and stand in the middle of the fight, unless he's roared. But right now, Huskar's getting roared every fight.
Talking about the roar, it's out onto Supreme. They've got the OD held still. Can they finish him off? Popping that BKB, trying to get away from these heroes, running into the tree line. Have the Blink Dagger to get away. TPing out is being used. The Hawk will see him, but too little, too late. The OD does survive.
He was alive anyways. I'll lose if he could have died there. Ooh, BKB TP. No, but it's very unfortunate that his first usage of BKB is him just trying to survive because he's trying to push a lane out. Yeah, I don't think he should be there at that point, but hopefully next time he has BKB up, he'll have also his ult up, so...
Jump forwards, going on into the Axe here as Curry and they try to gang up on Dream. Wilworth doing nothing through that BKB. Meanwhile, Supreme brought down low, trying to get away on the backlines. Curry being beaten by G with his own BKB now. Sayu chasing. Curry is low, looking fragile as the Avalanche comes out. A Saberlight, though, with a big call onto 2 is enough to turn this one around, though. Sayu isolated, gonna get brought down. Meanwhile, Supreme bullying Miposhka as well. Sayu is dead, but the base is under siege as BZZ is inside, doing the damage. He actually takes 1 Rax. Now they'll look for G as well. Supreme and Saberlight giving chase. Can they find him? Venge weaving through the trees here, jumping forwards on Supreme. He does have the Astral. He doesn't really even want to use it. It just blows him up. Does it the old-fashioned way with right clicks on a call. They take down the Venge. They lose 1 rack up in top, but I think that was worth it as they take a bunch of kills in response. Hippomaniacs. Oh dear, Curry actually goes in on the top lane and gets blown up by BZZ and Dream and loses a courier with his AC on it as well. That is costly from Curry. Dream gonna come in on this one. They've got the Axe to follow him up with. He's gonna pop that BKB and go straight onto Dream here. Dream does not stand a chance. Down goes the Luna. 99 seconds. Does have buyback available. What can Hippomaniacs do in this time? Roche is up. Is that an option? Without the Huskar, maybe not.
The Huskar being dead is a big issue right now. It's like they tried taking a fight. Odie didn't have BKB. He didn't have ult. It's like I know that they're really scared right now that if you let Empire set up properly and run down a lane, you are just going to lose buildings. So they need to be playing outside of the base and try and take these fights where you can get a good kind of initiation. But simply because of the OD not having these key spells, it's making the fights really hard. And the Huskar right now, he's like he just gets roared and blown up. He's not really providing anything to the team. It's very worrying for Hippomaniacs right now.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like Huskar is feeling like such a weak hero right now, but you know, maybe someday someone will make it be convinced. But even games where Huskar wins, I never feel like, wow, that Huskar really did some heavy lifting there.
It's one of those heroes where you pick it as a response to seeing greedy heroes and you can just punish the early game. And when you're picking it and you're losing the early game and you're like 10 kills down, 11 kills down like Hippomaniacs were, you're not utilizing the core reason of picking the Huskar, right? You're playing from behind, and Huskar does not do well from behind.
Oops, Supreme actually going on to the Beastmaster here. Miposhka is here to back him up as well, though. Supreme does need to be careful. BZZ, he has the Roar, gonna throw it out. Sanity's not enough to blow up these two heroes. Thought it might have been, but not quite enough. He's still going, though. This is a bit of an extension, but he has got his team following up behind him, and he blinks forwards, finds Miposhka. Miposhka running around the tree. Supreme, hello? Hello? I'm not going to pop the ult, though. Just going to let himself fall. But guess what? They're pushing him through mid. They're going for the kill. Sayu can get the TP out the cool. Oh, just about misses.
Yeah, this is now really quite a worrying time for Hippomaniacs. They don't have the sanities, and once the Oracle comes back alive, there's going to be around about 110 seconds where OD will just not be able to provide as much as he could do before in the team fight. So I'd like to see Empire trying to assert some dominance right now. Even trying to go for Roshan, because if the OD's not going on, that's a big thing which would scare you away from trying to take it.
Just jumped on the double swap, comes out as they completely reposition their fight, and the luminescent beams just dropping onto Saberlight. They tear him apart with the Eclipse. And now, well, Luna well into Roshan. The buyback is out from Saberlight. Dream, he's handling Roshan pretty sharpish here. Meanwhile, BZZ goes for the Roar onto Seni here. Will be able to get it off that. Dazzle held still. And the Axis is going to have to walk back into this fight because there is no Shrine to TP to. But the Astral going to help out a lot. As Solvius goes far to try to blow up BZZ as quickly as they can here. One more right click will be used, and they get down BZZ. Meanwhile, Muff taking down the backline. Dream doing so much damage. He dies. Curry is dead. No buyback. Saberlight does have the call. It's out onto Dream. The BKB is gone. The Manta being used, trying to turn onto Dream here, but there's that Hurricane Pike being used from the OD, but OD tossed into the middle of everybody. Supreme might be in a lot of trouble here, and there's already 3 heroes dead, and down goes the OD. Does have buyback. Saberlight should be able to get himself away as he's actually come back to defend this one, because guess what? BZZ was pushing in. Is it enough, though? I mean, ult 2 versus 5, it's too big an ask.
No.
There's no way.
He has it soon.
Okay, well, the buyback comes out from the Dazzle, doing his best to try and make something happen here. BKB pop with the Hurricane Pike as well. Dream going to take a whole chunk of damage from this. Empire, though, they're not giving up anytime soon. There's only 1 barrack left. They can taste the victory. Can they get into the base and finish it off, though?
Yeah, I think with the Huskar and Cole being dead, you can just push in to get the range racks. And if you want to be really disciplined, you then just go back for Roshan.
Light takes the front line, jump into the back. Roar is out onto Supreme here. This guy has brought back. They're trying to force stuff around to keep him busy here. Meanwhile, they'll drop the ultimate, and down comes the... No, the Astral comes out actually keeping him alive.
Oh,
but the Glaives are going to do it. Yeah, the Glaives finish him off. There's no buyback available on the OD. GG is called. Empire will finish it up. No comebacks today, folks, as Hippomaniacs will drop this game. And now are dangerously close to not making it through this group stage.
I believe their next opponent is Elements Pro Gaming, so that's going to be quite a tough game for them. So hopefully it's better. We're not going to do it, by the way. You are not.
Yeah, I wasn't talking. We're obviously not in sync with our Russian casting soulmates right now.
No, but yeah, I think it was good to see Empire Hope actually turn. Hope? No, it's Faith, right? Faith, sorry. Empire Faith coming out and actually having a better game, because they had a bit of 2 shaky games yesterday, I guess. But again, it's the same trend of draft that's winning all these games. The best of ones. It's the who can actually fight more, push better, and all that. Cooldowns aren't clearly the way to win games right now.
Clearly not. Well, it's the game. It's the day of empires. As Team Empire Hope win the first series of the day, Team Empire Faith win the second game of the day, and I mean, it wasn't convincing. It was good, as you say. It was good to see Hippomaniacs having a bit of fight in them, having a bit of response.
Sure.
You know, we haven't seen that from them so far. I mean, we've only seen 1 game previously, but good to see that they can perform under pressure, and that is exactly what that was. I do still think they have some drafting issues to sort out. I mean, that Huskar did not work, and I don't think that's a wrong thing for me to say. I didn't feel like that Huskar was all that, personally.
Yeah, the Huskar was like it was 2 things. They already had the Dazzle, so they already had like the partner for the Huskar, and also it's somewhat a reaction, because when you see Beastmaster Venge Oracle, if they pick a Huskar, it's like, oh damn, we're gonna get pushed in, and we currently don't have the heroes to deal with it. So they kind of were forced into potentially picking it simply because they didn't want to, obviously play against it. And I think drafting in itself, like their draft was kind of fine. Like it was a bit janky, where like Empire had like a very basic We have a Luna, we have a Avenger, we have a Beast pushing you, right? But the fact that Hippomaniacs could have won this game. It wasn't like the draft was that bad that they just lost from minute 1, right? They had chances to win the game. It's just between like ignoring their supports, between their 3 cores, there seems to be a disconnect between like them communicating like who's strong, when can we fight, what can we do? Because like the OD's pushing out lane, dying, and he doesn't have like he's using his ult to try and get a solo kill, but like his ult's like the key factor in winning the fight. And then you've got like the Huskar who's just doesn't have a real place in the game because he needs to be with his team as 5 to really be killing things. And it's like, if Hippomaniacs can like fix the problem of this, like the disconnect, then I think they can start winning games. It's just, is it too late for them to start doing it in this tournament? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think it's ever too late. We've seen teams turn things around and go from being like a very questionable team to being one of the best teams in a lot of tournaments. But it is a big ask. And, well, you say throughout this tournament, but I'm saying throughout the next day, because next up is going to be Hippomaniacs versus...
yeah, that's true, yeah. Elements Pro Gaming.
Elements Pro Gaming, yeah, as we mentioned earlier. And Elements Pro Gaming have been looking very good right now. What do you think their chances are on taking down Elements?
I think Elements are going to be the favourites in this, simply because of yesterday's performance of just being 2-0 and obviously Hippomaniacs being 0-2. But yeah, it could be good if Hippomaniacs do win this game. It does mean that the bottom side of this group will be all shaken up. If Gambit can win as well, then there might be some tiebreakers or something. I don't know how that works. I believe it'll just be the matchups, right? Like
yeah, it's based on head.
So in that case, it would be tiebreaker, right? But
there's no possibility.
I'll look at it during our next break.
No, I'm almost certain. I've read the rules. It's
right. Okay,
yeah,
that's
fine. Sanity's does so much work here. I mean, this was the good fight from Hippomaniacs, but then. And what I want to know here, so I believe this was when Supreme bought back after Sayu jumps in and gets a double kill on the 2 carries. Yep, there you go. Did he need to buy back to defend these barracks?
The way you can see from the positioning of Dire, it looked like they were just trying to get out, but that is like he was already running away when OD bought back. So there's 2 ways of looking at this. One, OD buys back, it makes sure that Empire don't come for the racks, right? So it does technically defend the racks. And the second to that is, if you waited an extra 2-3 seconds, then you would have seen the positioning of Empire. If the Luna then comes back for the racks, then you buy back and can defend. So potentially it was a little bit too quick on the buyback, but just because like you can see the Luna, right? He was already on the mid-tier, tier 3, so potentially he didn't need it. But again, it did just fully secure that the racks weren't taken or pressured.
And so many of these fights, I mean, I feel like they were so close to going either way, and again, I don't like the Huskar pick, personally speaking. I feel like it's very weak, and here it gets a little bit awkward because the Luna just wanted to turn around and get some damage off, but was disarmed, so couldn't do so. Does manage to make it away to the tree. Sableye limps away in the background, and again, Hippomaniacs they took a fair few good fights this game, but unfortunately, they were just outpushed and outkilled eventually as well.
Yeah, the Beastmaster actually is a really good counter to Huskar as well, because Huskar, once he gets into the fight, he just wants to stand there and right-click. And then you've got like the ball that slows him, like he can't really move around the fight too well. You can then roar him, and like most of the roars were onto like the Huskar. Obviously, the Beast would then go for pickoffs from other people, but most of the time it was like stop the Huskar from right clicking. OD will drop sanities on a couple people, but we don't really care if the Huskar's not doing anything. Like we're just gonna kite him, right? So yeah, just the Huskar, it felt like it wasn't meant to be here. But again, if they didn't pick it, then potentially Empire would have just picked it and would have had this really strong early game draft. So potentially forced into a very awkward drafting position.
Yeah, well, let's hope they can sort out their issues. And, well, that series is going to go the way of Team Empire Faith as they pick up their first win of the tournament versus Hippomaniacs. Hippomaniacs are now going to have to play off versus Elements Pro Gaming, which is going to be their last chance about having any chance of making it through this group stage, I believe. So things are on the line for them. We'll be back with that after a short break.